y'all. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. On this page, I talk about technology and money. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and also like and share this video. Liking and sharing the video does two things. Number one, it helps this content reach more people, so you are adding value. And number two, it encourages me to continue creating content that you all find helpful. First of all, Happy New Year. So this is my first video of 2022. I hope you had a good 2021, a good holiday, that you got some rest, had some peace, and that things were just good for you, and that things ended well, and then also started well for you in 2022. So if you're returning, you can see I have a little bit of a different setup. I'm using a different camera, microphone, also trying a few new things. So I just ask for you all just to bear with me. I've been testing and playing around with different setups and layouts. So just bear with me and be patient with me as I learn. That's one thing that I do want to do more of in 2022 is just trying out new things. I love learning new things. So I just appreciate everyone's patience. And then just folks who, if you have any tips for me and positive feedback or encouragement, that is welcome as well. So today I wanted to talk about the news about Kimberly Bryant, Black Girls Code, and the suspension that happened literally right before the holidays, like 3 days before Christmas. So I am going to share my screen. Just give me a moment and bear with me as I do that. Okay. Okay. All right. So right before Christmas. Well, first of all, let me back up. So if you're not familiar with Black Girls Code is an organization that encourages young women, Black and brown women who are interested in tech or may not know about tech. They introduce them to that world. They do a lot of mentorship, a lot of coaching, workshops. It's a global organization. I know in the United States, there are chapters all across the United States, and the organization teaches these young girls how to code, but not just how to code, also about AI, robotics, blockchain, how to do blockchain, how to build websites. It's really neat. An organization has been around since about 2010. I want to say, so if the organization was founded by Kimberly Bryant, she is an engineer. I believe she's an electrical engineer. She worked in the industry for several years before starting her organization. She saw a gap. She saw the need for an organization such as Black Girls Code to exist, to encourage young Black and brown women. I've talked about on this page before what it's like being a Black woman working in tech. I've been in tech for over 18 years, and just experiencing things that are systemic, microaggressions, the pay inequity I've talked about. I have videos on my channel, and it's not even on my channel. It's just lots of information out there about Black and brown women from different backgrounds, different places, all having the same stories about what it's like being in tech, getting started in tech, working. It's a good opportunity. I love working in tech, but it's not always sweet. Okay. So it's good that Black Girls Code exists to help close the opportunity gap for Black women and girls. They are devoted. So here are some of I'm on their website if you didn't know. So here are some of the things that they have programming in. This is Kimberly Bryant here on, this is herself. She has done TED Talks. Because some folks are like, why is there an organization, a STEM organization just for Black and brown girls? Why is it not all girls? And I know I've read stories and articles from Kimberly Bryant before about when she first started the organization and the pushback that she got. And then also that other folks, even to this day, continue to say, I'll just say, and I'll just move on with the news story that is definitely needed. Okay. Not only for the pay inequity for women, but also Black women. So it's needed. So anyway, so 3 days before Christmas, I'm scrolling on Twitter. I see this article. I see this tweet from her. So it's 3 press release. So it's 3 days before Christmas, and you wake up to discover the organization you created and built from the ground up has been taken away by a rogue board with no notification. And then she CC'd the organization. And I was like, what? Wow. So I'm going to pull up an article from TechCrunch, Fair Use, that a journalist did about the suspension. So Kimberly Bryant tweeted this on December 21st, and then TechCrunch came and did an article a few days later. And before I pull up the article, I just found like the timing of everything. It's just like an interesting timing, just in tech is like some other industries where around the holidays things slow down a little bit. People, a lot of people tend to take like PTO, and if they are working for an organization, or even if they're a founder or an owner or CEO, people tend to take PTO. Things just kind of like slow down. Folks aren't like watching the news as heavily, as closely, right? Because they're spending time with their families. They're celebrating however they celebrate in their beliefs. But so TechCrunch did an article, right? Says Kimberly Bryant's suspension surfaces ongoing tensions at Black Girls Code. And again, if I didn't mention it before, Fair Use. So the organization is conducting a conduct review. So in this article, the journalist or TechCrunch spoke with five former employees about what it's like, what it was like working in the organizations. One of the employees allegedly said that, it was the basic, I'm paraphrasing here, that organization, the work culture was such that the person got therapy. But here we go. So in the morning of December 21st, the CEO learned that she could no longer access her work email. So she found out, she first realized that she had been suspended when she could not get into her email. So her work email. So then she received a note to her personal email notifying her that she had been suspended indefinitely. So again, here's the tweet that I just referenced. And then she also released her own statement here. Let's see. I think I got it pulled up. I do believe I do. So yeah. So after she realized she got suspended, she did a couple of tweets. She released her own personal statement. And here's the thing that I have found. Excuse me. It seems like as soon as I get on live, as soon as I start broadcasting, I get some messages. So sorry about it. Let me just put my phone on silent here so y'all won't hear that. My phone won't ring and things. So, okay. So I find it interesting. It's now, January 4th. There's been an article from TechCrunch. There's been a couple of tweets from Kimberly Bryant herself. There has been a statement, but the organization on their Twitter page, because of course I'm like, okay, what is Black Girl Code saying? They haven't said anything, right? They haven't mentioned anything on their public Twitter page about Kimberly Bryant's suspension. So she says in her release, after obtaining legal counsel to address my unlawful suspension a few days before Christmas, she spoke with ABC7. So there is another article by a journalist out on the website here that's on the screen. To share details about the concerns with members of the board of directors. She says, Kimberly Bryant says she's not going to be silent. She says she's calling out the agenda to adversely impact the small women-founded, women-led nonprofit and the chilling precedent against strong leadership by women of color. So she says she goes on to say she's concerned about the actions that coincided with a calculated effort to paint her leadership in a negative light. So I found that interesting in the statement because in the article in TechCrunch, one of the former employees made reference to they know how it can be seen speaking out against people of color in leadership positions. So if you're not familiar, like there is an unspoken code or sometimes spoken that you stick together, right, within the culture, whether it's Black, Latino, I can't speak to the Asian community, but I know within the Black community, there is an unspoken thing that you stick together. And if someone from your culture has made it, they're in a prominent position, that you support them. You don't do things or say things that put them in a negative light, because it can already be difficult for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. Whether you're working as a frontline worker in tech or if you're in some type of leadership position. So she goes on to say, so after discussion, she spoke to her counsel. She's worked to address concerns about workplace culture, which was also referenced in that TechCrunch article, and continue to grow their organization while in the midst of what's going on in the world. She goes on to say again, furthermore, that she's a strong leader who demands results. She holds her staff to high standards and expectations for herself. So it sounds like she's very driven. She has expectations. And when you're the CEO, as I understand about being in a CEO, especially as a Black woman, you have a lot of extra eyes on you. There can be some not only internal, things that and I'm speaking just anecdotally for myself. There's some internal things you really want to perform. You feel like there's extra eyes on you. So she has high expectations and standards, which there is nothing wrong with that, right? Wanting good performance results. So she says that she's worked with workplace consultants to address pay equity concerns, provide coaching and membership to her SLT, so her senior leadership team, to address the concerns of the staff. She brought on like senior staff executives to help with the realignment. So it sounds like, and I'm going to flip back here to the article, but reading through the statement, the things that she said she did, and then reading through the article, which mentions things about the workplace culture and just concerns about her leadership style, that this is just me discerning, right? I don't know, right? Okay, so I'm just like you guys, just getting these things, reading these things. But it sounds like that the workplace, there were some issues with the workplace. Now, there was also some things with turnover, which is mentioned in this article. And then also with onboarding, it sounds like there was high turnover, or just a rate of turnover that just made operations challenging. And then even with the turnover, just the onboarding was challenging as well. So she does reference here the Great Resignation that many organizations have endured. And then it sounds like, here we go. They said Bryant's leadership style, they described as rooted in fear. They said that she would publicly berate managers in meetings, and just doing things and calling people out in a way that doesn't sound healthy. Okay. And talking down and made, just was not good for employee morale. But I did see where Kimberly Bryant had mentioned, I think it was in her statement, that she had brought on an executive coach for herself. And then now I didn't see this tweet. TechCrunch must have saw it. Somebody saw it. But she did say in a tweet that it looks like got deleted, that she is driven. She has there's high expectations and a bit of perfectionist, but hasn't done anything in unethical or et cetera, or abusive, et cetera. So, but I couldn't find it. I did not see it. So it looks like there were some negative Glassdoor reviews that you all can go out there and read. But so she is on indefinite suspension, and it sounds like that there is now an investigation, or a soon to be investigation, underway. But I think one of the things that just didn't bode well, because I've seen folks, this wasn't huge, it was news, but because of the holidays, it got missed by some folks. But I think it was just the timing. It sounds like the work culture has some issues that were being worked on. She had hired an executive coach and was working on some things and fixing some things. And then all of a sudden the world was like, deuces, okay, and got her and put her on and suspended her without letting her know. And I think that was one of the things that just kind of like stung a little bit, right? You know, how would it feel? I don't know how, you know, if you find out that you're getting suspended or you've been suspended in your job because you can't get into your email, and then it's like right before the holidays, no one is communicating with you, at least like publicly facing. There's not anything on, at least on their on the organization's Twitter page, and I didn't see anything on the website. So yeah, I just think it's interesting, right? Because there are pressures when you're a Black woman and working in tech. And then also if you're in a leadership position, I haven't been an executive yet, but I can just imagine just the challenges, not just being an executive period, but also being a Black woman and dealing with other things that come along with that within the organization. So this is a story that I'm definitely going to continue following. I'm just like, what does that mean for the organization? They have done a lot. They have a lot of programming that's ongoing across the world. Hopefully, I feel like, well, I don't know, but you know, would it impact the program that they got going on? I would imagine not, but we'll just have to wait and see. Just like, why at the end of the year though? Like, if you see, like, I'm just like, what happened to where if these things are being worked on to be improved, why suspend the CEO right before the holiday? It's just the timing. I'm just curious. I honestly do not know, but I wanted to talk about it. You all also to hear you all's thoughts. If you have any thoughts, you can definitely leave a comment below. If you're again, if you're new here, please do. Let's see if I can stop sharing, y'all. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. Just bear with me. Bring my screen back up. Okay. Yeah, so just like what happens, and just see, like, continuing to follow the story. You can definitely leave a comment. My contact information is below in the description. Thank you for watching. Definitely like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.